In this movie, I want to look at optimizing the audio assets for our game. So you can see here in the project panel, we have a folder that is called audio. And if I double click to open that folder, here you can see the assets that we have imported. Now we have the SFX for sound effects folder. If I double click on that folder, you can see we have a range of different sound effects that are available to us. And these will be used during the game. For example, I can select this asset, and over here in the Object Inspector, you can see the default settings that have applied to that. And in the preview panel here, we can actually play back the sound and see what it sounds like. So I could press play here on the preview panel and it plays that sound. So that is what the sound is like. And again for this one. And again for this one, we have some ambience. And again for this one as well, we have some ambience too. So we have these 4 different sound effects here, and these are all absolutely fine. But if I return back to the audio folder, we can see we have this asset too, which is called waiting in the dark for loop 48k.wav, which has been imported into the project. If I just expand that here in the Object Inspector, you can see down here in the preview panel, if I just display this correctly, you can see that what we have here is 35.7 megabytes. That is the total size of the audio file, and it also gives us the length of the audio file as well, which is about 3 minutes. Now, this is problematic. You will see here in the Object Inspector that what we have enabled is preload audio data. That is enabled. That means that when this audio track is added to a scene, when the scene is loaded, the entirety of this music track will be loaded into memory. Now, that is a lot of data to hold. This will typically mean that our scenes will take a long time to load, and on mobile devices it may even result in very severe performance problems, and I think it's quite obvious that we don't want that to happen. Now, thankfully, it's very easy to correct this, and I want to show you how using this music track here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is disable the checkbox preload audio data. I'm going to take the tick out of that box, and for the load type here, I'm going to change this from decompress on load. I'm going to change this to streaming. The result is that only small sections of the track get loaded into memory at any one time, so that as playback a lot of the track progresses, the older sections, the older chunks are discarded and newer chunks are brought into memory. This allows Unity to process very large tracks quite easily. So I'm going to accept these settings and choose apply here on the toolbar. When I do that, Unity will think about those options and then eventually reconfigure the audio asset to work according to the settings we've specified here. And that basically is all we need to do, at least initially, for optimizing the audio assets for our game, and we're good to move forwards.